Good morning, gods and goddesses. This is Elegant Soulfood here with just a brief message for you today. Just wanted to share something with you. There is music playing in the background. I do not own the rights to this music. The song that's playing in the background is Rochelle Farrell and Rashawn Patterson live singing the song called Photo. I don't think it was ever released in studio. That's neither here nor there. I just had to say that, get it out the way because you might be able to hear it. I need to shut my video down if I don't. So, what I wanted to share with you is the deep spiritual meaning of Begats. Those of you that are following my videos, I've been doing a series on frequency. And the first one is freaks and frequency. Get your freak on. Knowing how to raise your vibration, knowing what a vibrational freak is, as well as a freak, FREAK. And the second one was toxic positivity and the frequency or the freak that exhibits toxic positivity. The next one I just did was Nice Freaks Finished Last. And there's a part two coming to that. But what was on my heart while I was doing this third installation of frequency is the Begats. On my spiritual journey, somewhere along the way, I was challenged to study the Begats. If you watch my last video where I'm talking about kindness and how important kindness is, and you should never be nice, you should be kind. The lessons that I was challenged to study for intercessory, to tap into my spirit, to go into the inside of God and learn some lessons. Best lesson ever for me was to meditate and study and petition and channel the Begats in Genesis, Numbers, Ruth, and First Chronicles, the book of generations. If you believe in generational curses, if you don't understand it, there's generational choices. If you believe in soul contracts or you don't know that there are soul contracts, if you don't know that there were things that were predestined or opportunities or purpose that would be laid before you were born, this is a good place to start. If you believe in everything you see and hear without spiritual confirmation and guides, this would be a good exercise for you to tap into the Begats and get some breaking in your soul and your spirit so you can live a more peaceful and joyful, blissful life. And you'll start to understand things like divine protection. Was it just this week or last week? There was this job that I want. When I say that I wanted that job. I want that job. Ever since I found out that a job like that existed, somebody else had kind of spoke to me about, oh, you'd be good in this career, you'd be good in doing that. And it was a guy much older than me that I worked with, and I valued what he said, and I never forgot it. And so it would creep into my mind. So when I saw this job position posted, I was just like, oh my God, this is like that job that I did really well when I worked at Chicago City Colleges, and this would be a great opportunity. Interviewed for the job, only to discover at the end that they had 6 positions. Man, I went shopping. I went and bought me outfits because I just said, clearly, you got 6 positions. I can get one. You can't tell me that it's not. It's 50 other people that are going to outdo me in terms of experience, in terms of knowledge, in terms of being effective in doing this job well. I know I got one. I went shopping. Okay, fast forward. They repost the same position but at a higher pay grade. So I said, well, maybe this is a different job. Well, maybe they're posting it at a higher pay grade for the same position, or maybe it's different team altogether with the same job. I just didn't know, so I applied for it. Interviewed a second time with the same person that I interviewed for the first time. He acted like he had never seen me before in his life, and we went through the interview. Because I'm divinely focused and connected, at the end of that interview, I was just like, I didn't get the job. I just felt like it didn't go like it was supposed to go. The connection wasn't there for me. And I said, well, maybe I'll get the other one at the lower pay grade. And this was something different. I just didn't know. So, fast forward a week or so later, I get the first email saying that I wasn't selected for the lower pay grade. Then I get a couple of hours later, I get the second email saying I wasn't selected for the higher pay grade. And it stabbed me in my heart. I was in physical therapy when I was looking at my calendar to schedule my next physical therapy appointment while I was at physical therapy. And I saw my email pop up, and I saw I didn't get that job at the higher pay grade, and it just like was a dagger in my heart. And divine is so good. It's like that dagger started to release itself from my heart and my spirit and my mind within like 5 seconds. It was almost instantly. And I said, this is divine protection. I never experienced rejection. I only experienced divine protection because I understand how things work spiritually. And I'm so grateful for that experience. And I was just sitting here thinking about that, and I shared that with someone recently. And it made me realize the story I wanted to tell you about focusing on the Begats. I don't know how many, it had to be over 20 years ago. My study and channeling and focusing on the Begats is what got me on the journey to being released, where I can understand divine protection. Now, clearly over the last 20 years, there's been a lot of experiences that happened to me for to get the lesson. And that's the thing. A lot of times people have the experience, but they don't get the lesson. And so they keep repeating the same experiences. They tear into their soul, tear into their psyche, tear into their into the ways that they react in the world and the way that they show out in the world. So I hope something that I said blesses you. And I hope that you understand that the first time something goes awry and doesn't work for you, stop fighting to take something that divine is trying to protect you for. I remember when I first started saying, thank God for the exposure. I thank you for the exposure. Every time I would see something that I didn't want to see, I couldn't believe I was seeing with my own eyes, that I was experiencing with my, senses, my six senses, and in the fifth dimension as well as in the second and third dimensions. And I start saying, thank God for the exposure. Thank you, divine, for the exposure. Thank you for the exposure. Man, it's a good feeling. And I hope that this message blesses you, and I hope that you're able to get something out of it, and I hope that you are free, and I hope that you know that you are loved. I love you, and I wish nothing but the best for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Love and blessings.